Father's Day weekend. Happy Dad's Day to everyone. We got a little something for everybody coming up here on Last Call. Got a lot of Major League Baseball, of course, as the dog days of summer are here. We got plenty to go over in World Cup action. Carmine Bianco will step in here. And, of course, we'll take any questions you guys have. Just drop them in the chat room as let's dive in right away to a huge, and I mean huge, Major League Baseball schedule. And who better than the one and only Mr. Brian Leonard in the house, ready to go to talk some Major League Baseball here. Bri, always a pleasure, my friend. Some interesting results last night. Boy, I got to tell you, if the bullpens with the Angels and the Athletics might just be the funniest thing to watch in the world. I don't know how you're up 11-4 and managed to lose the game, but that's exactly what the Angels bullpen did last night. We're at that time of year. There's no way we're sweating out unders with some of these teams, are we?
Well, unfortunately, yeah, it's tough to play an under with the way the heat is. And we do parlays, a 3-team parlay every day on the Total Bases podcast, and that was my parlay. And it was 11-4. And to be totally honest with you, I had put it in the back of my head. And I go, oh, okay, that one's looking good. And then this morning, I go, we won the parlay, right? And they go, didn't you have the Angels? I said, oh my God, did they come back? And yeah, it happens. Unreal. But that's what you get with those bullpens, like the Sacramento and them. It's a crapshoot.
We had a lot of games last night coming from behind. Dodgers get it done again against poor Baltimore. Can't find a win here, but some interesting pitching matchups coming up here today. And I guess anytime you get Paul Skeens on the mound, we know we're overpaying for him. But do we trust Pitt? We don't trust that bullpen, do we? They let him down again last night, Pittsburgh. But your boys back in Colorado here should be edge Pittsburgh. But what a price they've got on him today.
Yep, you hit it right on the nose. When you're playing Colorado, keep in mind there's no more of a home road dichotomy every single year than the Colorado Rockies. We in the industry we call it Road Rockies, Rocky Road, and because they're terrible when they get outside of Colorado, but when they pitch at home or play at home, they are able to hit, and so a lot of times we get value on Colorado. That said, I don't like the situation today. Zagano's on the mound for Colorado. I do think that Pittsburgh with Skeens, a $2 favorite, is overpriced, especially when two of their best hitters are out of the lineup. And I think Brian Reynolds got pulled yesterday. So they could be missing three of their top 5 guys, and you're still going to lay $2 on the mound, or $2 with Skeens on the mound. Skeens could throw a shutout through 6 innings here and still may lose the game. So I don't trust laying that number on the road in Colorado here. But, once I get to the bullpens in this game, because the Pittsburgh bullpen is not very good, and there could be a lot of runs scored late in this game.
Yeah, and the other problem is Skeens hasn't made it through 6 innings, I think, since the first week in May. So, yeah, that bullpen's going to get involved in the altitude, and good luck there. We did watch Miz take a loss yesterday, although it wasn't entirely his fault. So round 2 here today, Atlanta at home, Chris Sale going up against Harrison, the lefty. Obviously, 2 lefties, top of their game, total hovering around 7 right now in a lot of spots. Wasn't a lot of runs last night. I don't know that we're getting a ton of runs tonight either here, are we?
No, I'm in agreement with you there. I always like to play lefties because basically that makes up about 30% of the starters in Major League Baseball. Teams can go a full week. I've seen guys go 2 full weeks without facing a starter. And when you don't see that, it takes a while to get your timing down. And we've got 2 of them that are great. We've got Harrison against Sale, both lefties. Harrison did not look good when he went on the road in Vegas. I was at both those series with Colorado and in Milwaukee, and he actually left the game with his ERA was a full run higher than it was to start the game. For some reason, they hit him very well there. But overall, Harrison's been great. I love the Milwaukee coaching staff. They've been able to, Priester, who's unfortunately now going to be out for the year, he came in, he pitched really well for him last year. Milwaukee does a wonderful job with getting people who a lot of people have given up on, like Harrison, San Francisco gave up on him, and he's looked really good for them. Chris Sale is who he is. We're going to get probably 6-7 good innings out of Sale, but I actually like the bullpens in this game. Both Atlanta and Milwaukee, to me, are elite bullpens. So we're looking at a total of 7 in this game, and you could play the under at -105, -110. Yeah, I think that's the way I go in this one. I think runs are going to be hard to come by, and keep in mind, Atlanta had another one of their better players got hurt yesterday. They're already without Acuna, so they did get back Baldwin, but their offense is playing shorthanded, very similar to Pittsburgh. So, yeah, this is a game where every run means a lot. Obviously, with a total of 7, I think this game goes under the total.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You can't be sweating out and over with those two guys on the mound. And listen, I know Dan is right there behind the scenes, so I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that his boy Christopher Sanchez got his ass lit up last game by Milwaukee there, I believe. 4 earned runs, 8 hits, didn't make it through 6 innings. That's a rarity since he's almost always guaranteed 7 innings. But he's taking on the Mets, and good old Freddie Peralta here, boy, at his former team there was the one that did damage to the Phillies last time. The Mets won last night. Are we looking at another win here today, or is this bounce back for Sanchez?
I think it's bounced back for Sanchez. That said, we're in the 180, 190 range here. I don't know if I trust the Philadelphia offense to lay that kind of number. Philadelphia is one of those teams very much like the Yankees, where they do have some power and they can get a 3-run homer at any time. But Sanchez went on that big run. I mean, he was just awesome. I was playing him day in and day out when he had on that scoreless streak run. And I could see this if he was still on the scoreless streak run, but he's not. Freddie Peralta, how often do you get a Freddie Peralta catching? I see a 170 at one place out there right now. So if I'm looking to play this one, I would probably play the under here. The back of the Philadelphia bullpen, I trust a lot more than their long relievers, and the Mets bullpen is really starting to come into its own. They're starting to play much better in the bullpen. So if I'm playing anything, I'm either playing the under, or I'm actually look to play the Philadelphia team total under. Let me see what we've got on that right now.
Well, it's not a bad call either.
It's sitting there at 4.5 under, minus 130 to 145, 135 most places.
Yep.
Philadelphia would have to score 5 runs against Peralta and the Mets bullpen. I don't really think that's going to happen, so that may be a pretty good bet there.
There you go. We got some team totals going on here today. I got one more game for you I want to run by there, Brian. But before we do, what is up at your page at WagerTalk.com? Full baseball schedule here. What do you got locked and loaded for everyone?
Yeah, we've been on a really nice run. I had a 5% play in the Arizona game yesterday. I talked in the write-up that I thought it would end in the 6th inning and hit the number, and yeah, it did in the 6th inning. So it worked out very well. Nice to have a no sweater. I've got 3 plays up in Major League Baseball today, 1 afternoon and 2 on the nighttime card. And we've got these great deals going on right now at Wager Talk, not only for the baseball show, the total basis, where you can buy one handicapper and get another one at a discounted price. But we've also got, buy 3 days, get 3 days. A lot of great deals out there today. So if you wanted to get our plays today, instead of paying the $35 for 1 day, just get the better deal on a little bit longer package. Number 1 all-time in Major League Baseball, so I'm very consistent in that regard. But, yeah, great stuff up. 3 plays up right now. Looking for a sweep of the board.
Looking to get it done with the sweep coming up. All right, let me ask you about your boys in Cleveland here, because you love the Guardians. I know you do. You look for ways to try and fade them every chance you get. But Cantillo on the mound, the lefty going up against Houston. I can't figure Houston out all year long. I don't know. Arrighetti, I thought he might be getting lit up at some point. He did last time out. I don't know. Do you know Ramirez? Are they just fade in this price point, or what do we do with them?
Yeah, it's not been a good series for me, because I talked about Cleveland, the lineup they have right now. I played small plays, but I did play the first 2 games in the series, the team total under 3.5. And of course, both games they end up with exactly 4. The first game they did it all in 1 inning. So I won 8 out of 9 innings and lost my team total under. It happens. That's sports gambling. But yeah, that's the way I would probably look in this one. Although I don't trust Arrighetti as much as some of the other pitchers they faced. Arrighetti's got really good numbers this year, but if you take a look at his advanced stats, I think he's getting a little bit lucky. He has had problems in the past with his control. This year it hasn't been as bad, but that's the first thing he did when he got in trouble. I think it was the last start or the one before that, he started walking people. And that's the one thing that concerns me. This is a ballpark in Houston where if you take a look at, most of your ballparks, if you take a look at the home runs allowed compared to fly balls hit at a certain trajectory, basically half the time you hit a fly ball in the 30 to 40% angle, they go out for home runs. In Houston, they go out a lot higher. I believe it's like 68% or something. So these fly balls turn into home runs in this ballpark. So they can give up some home runs here. Cantillo, I do like Cantillo, but he's a guy who has struggled with his walks a little bit too. So we could get, a 3-run homer at any time in this game, but it's hard for me to back this Cleveland offense. They don't have a lot of power, just maybe two guys right now that can hit the ball in the park. So I kind of like the under, kind of like maybe either team's team total under. Giving a lot of unders on today's card. It's hard to do when you get in the month of June because you get a lot of that really hot weather. But I think it's a good day for unders, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, no, it hasn't been good. You're right, Arrighetti. I mean, his last 3 starts have he's gone 6 innings the last 2, but he's gotten beat up here, man. They got the runs coming in. So, and that bullpen of Houston is finally healthy again. Not that it means anything, but they need to hurry up and get Ramirez back into that lineup. All right, Brian Leonard. Cubs Blue Jays here, I believe. What do we got? Mac Hudson there, 73-61. Let me ask you something, Mac. Is Patrick Corbin pitching? There's your answer. Although I got to tell you, it wasn't a great weather day yesterday at Wrigley in the afternoon. It wasn't like the wind was blowing out and they had Gausman on the mound. The Cubs still scored 16 runs in that game, Brian. And I believe the same weather today. Wind is crosswind, I believe, right to left. And it's not like that's going to be some sort of amplifier, but it didn't matter yesterday against Gausman, did it?
No, it did not. And that was a real surprise as we were discussing the game. The other two guys like Toronto. I kind of like Chicago. I don't think any of us got to the actual game. But, yeah, Corbin and Ray. Corbin is the lefty, but he has not been that great. He's actually pitched better since he's left Washington, but still, if you take a look at his numbers, you've been making really good money just by fading Corbin. And that would probably be the way I would do it. Colin Ray, he has gotten hit a little bit as of late, but still, I prefer him a little bit better than Corbin. And I always prefer the Cubs at home a little bit more than Toronto. Toronto's not hitting with any power right now. The first baseman is hitting for singles, great, but you don't get paid $50 million a year to hit singles. They've got to be able to hit a little bit more power. One of their guys that they use a lot, plays third base many times, gets on base a lot. He got hurt yesterday, so I don't know if he's going to be in the lineup today. So Toronto's playing with a little bit lesser of a lineup today. So I kind of like Chicago. And you're laying upwards of 125 to 135. You can get anything less than a 130. I think I'm somewhat interested in Chicago here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, neither pitcher excites me, but it's 9.5 now. I believe that total yesterday was 7.5 or some obnoxious number there. And boy, that went flying over. But with these two guys on the mound, and Vladdy, by the way, he ain't there. You're right. 4 home runs on. I think he's been hurt the whole time, but now he's finally up. So the injuries are piling up there, but it's Corbin versus Ray. What do you think is going to happen? There's going to be runs in this game. So focus on the team totals. That's the way I would look at it there. Brian Leonard, appreciate it as always, man. You are locked and loaded. 3 plays up at your page over at WagerTalk. Enjoy. I understand you're on vacation. You might run into one Ralph Michaels. So enjoy yourself there, man. And we'll talk to you again during the week.
I appreciate it. We're going to head out to the Hollywood Casino in the Hard Rock, I believe. So if anybody wants to meet us and have a conversation, we'll be out there all day.
All right. And hopefully the facial recognition won't work when I get there. Always a pleasure to see you, Brian Leonard. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the weekend. Guys, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as long as you're hanging out with us here on a Saturday. We got a lot going on, a lot of Major League Baseball today. It's going to be a good weekend for that. U.S. Open. In fact, here, will Wyndham Clark destroy a locker is the big prop I think we're looking on in the predicted markets. Well, if he blows up and shoots 81 today, that might be it, although something tells me this golf course is going to be a lot more difficult today and tomorrow than it has been for the first couple of days. But it should be fun there. And then, of course, they're celebrating 2 games in 2 months. Team USA wins. And now not only do you cash a ticket if you backed them to win the group, they're heading over to the round of 32 in the knockout stage. So it could not have been a better day for Team USA in the World Cup yesterday. But what have you done for me lately? We got a lot more games coming up here today. And the man who refuses to lose when it comes to the World Cup, one Carmine, Bianco, is in the house, and he is ready to talk some soccer here. And Carm, what the hell was that? What, 9-1 now? I mean, really? You lost one? You lost the game? Please. I know you were on the best betting show yesterday with me, and we laughed at the Haiti game, the Haiti-Brazil, and said, well, this could be interesting. Yeah, we didn't think Haiti was going to have a whole lot of offensive output there, and it turns out, yeah, they didn't. But I believe that's not the game that you ended up cashing in. I believe Morocco was the game you ended up cashing in.
Yeah, both plenty of goals in the Brazil game, or at least 3, anyways. And you know the funny thing was that I was on WagerTalk today, and Andy and I we kind of the little segment where we go head to head, and he let me go first. Thankfully, he let me go first, so I may have stolen his play, but I said Brazil to win exactly 3-0. Which was about plus 650, and they won 3-0. 3 goals at halftime and nothing after that. If you had over 3.5, you are oh god,
that's great.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That is me and my my AI slop giving it to Andy behind the scenes. But the other 2 games, a goal in the first 90 seconds, and then nothing after that. We cashed with Morocco, and then Turkey. The official gives out the first red card for covering your mouth. He could have been saying, listen, dinner after the game, red card. But the rules are there. It's to get rid of racism. I get it in the sport, but 9-1 run. I was hoping Turkey would win that game and make it a perfect 10-0, but I'll take 9-1 for now and move on to the plays today and tomorrow, which we can discuss some of them.
Yes, well, let's talk about today, because it's always fun when the Netherlands and Sweden get to go at it here. I don't know. This feels like a draw game to me. I think it's a pretty decent price too. Wouldn't shock me. 1-1 kind of situation here. What are you thinking with the Netherlands as they're getting ready to kick off? I believe at 1:00 Eastern time here today in Houston. In fact.
Yeah, and I did a free play video on this one, but I also mentioned on that free play video that this would be a client play as well too, which it did turn out to be for today. A lower rated client play, but client play nonetheless. And it's both teams to score in this game, which at the time of the recording was about minus 145. I'm not sure if that has gone up or not since. I haven't looked at the number, but you look at this Netherlands team, and they've got to be better than they have thus far. They blew 2 leads to Japan in that first one. I thought, and I expected Japan to get a result there, so we were good to cash in that one. But on the back end, a team that has guys like Virgil van Dijk, you would think they would play much better defensively, and the Netherlands really hasn't. I think what happens is there's too much separation for a team that good teams play better from the back out, from your goalie to your D to your midfield. That's what fuels the attack. That hasn't been there not only in the friendlies thus far, but even in that first game for them. As far as up front, Netherlands can score. Cody Gakpo Malin as well too, and Summerhill. So they have plenty of guys who can score up front. So I believe that they're gonna find the back of the net today. And then you look at Sweden, a team that I wasn't very high on coming into this tournament, but they absolutely, I'm going to call it, annihilated Tunisia 5-1. And the combo of Gyökeres, who plays for Arsenal, the Premier League champions, and then Isak, who played for Newcastle but now plays for Liverpool. They had a great game in that one. That connection was very good and is going to give that back line of Netherlands fits. So obviously the play that makes the most sense in this one is to take both teams to score. I wouldn't even look at the total, just because if the game finishes 1-1, if you try and get a little too fancy and you try and take the over 2.5, or let's say over 3, and the game finishes, as you mentioned, Joe, in a 1-1 draw, you gave up on a winning ticket and got stuck with a losing ticket. So both teams to score in this 1 p.m. game today. That is what makes absolute sense.
Yeah, I believe Sweden too. Actually, on quite a run, because they don't play any defense, but they score 7 consecutive tickets of cash. Both teams to score. They've, I believe, they've conceded a goal in 12 straight matches. So yeah, they can score, but you know what? They're not stopping anybody from scoring either in that spot. So that should be an interesting game. Both teams to score there. At 3-1, I'm taking the draw. And then, of course, Germany. How many goals does Germany get this time? How many shots on goal does Germany get this time here? Was that an anomaly, the 7-goal effort there? Are we to anticipate maybe the old guys in Germany are back, or what are we thinking here against the Ivory Coast?
They are going to get a much stiffer test than they did in that opener. Listen, I get it. They played Curacao. If this tournament was not being hosted in North America, Curacao would not be in the World Cup. Plain and simple. The fact that CONCACAF normally has 3 teams in the World Cup, those are normally would end up being Canada, US, and Mexico. Those are the 3 strongest in the CONCACAF region, and they would likely be the 3 teams participating in it. The problem here is those 3 teams got automatic buys, so CONCACAFs are still allotted their 3 spots, and Curacao gets one of them. Panama gets a second, and Panama is a decent team, and then Haiti is the third one. We saw Haiti lose 3-0. To Brazil yesterday. So it is one of those ones where I get it was supposed to be a blowout against Curacao, but the Ivory Coast played a very good game against Ecuador, scoring late to I think it was in the 90th minute to secure a 1-0 lead. And it's a very good defensive team, South American team that they did that against. They'll be better. They'll be a little bit better in this game. They've already got their 3 points. I would have to believe they know that they have Curacao up next after this one. So their path into the knockout stages is essentially assured, regardless of how today's game goes. I think the only way to play this, and as far as Germany goes, if you can get the -1 number, because lane minus 190, lane minus 200 in these games, I think is going to kill your bankroll at some point. You obviously have to win 2 out of 3 in order to break even. And we've seen some -200 favorites, especially on match day 1, go down in games that ended in draws, especially the European sides. Our good friend Dan Alexander says it's because European sides are trash. I don't necessarily agree with them. Outside of, like, let's say France, England, and Spain, maybe the other ones are trash. But with that said, this German team is a very good team. I think they're going to score some goals today. You can look at some goal scoring props in this one. Kai Havertz loves to score for his German side. Musiala, another absolute talent on this team. Florian Wirtz. So there's plenty of guys who can score in this, but I don't think they're going to roll over this Ivory Coast team. If the line was to get to and it's not going to like a +2, I would have been all over Ivory Coast in this one, because I think they keep it close. But with that said, the -1 line is what makes sense here. I think Germany has to be the play.
So you and I on the show last week, there, Carmine, talking about some of these teams heading into the World Cup. You kind of liked Japan, and you know, they won. They've looked actually the part here, but they're taking on Tunisia tonight. I thought this line would have been a little bit higher, but it's still under $2 in a lot of places for Japan. I mean, Tunisia loses a game 5-1, fires everybody. It just doesn't feel like they got a lot going on here right now. Japan should win this one easily, should they not?
They should. You know, I took the +0.5 for them against Netherlands, and it was basically on the fact that I noticed that the Netherlands weren't their connections just weren't working, and I just thought Japan had a very good chance to win that game, or at the very least get a draw. And I thought that they could possibly even win the group. With that said, they did exactly what I thought they did. Obviously, they needed a late strike in order to even that one up at 2. But this Tunisia team, I had them picking up absolutely 0 points in this 0 points in this group. And at least after match day 1, they're on course for that. They have the Netherlands on the final match day, so their only chances to pick up points here, and I don't think it's going to happen. The -190 normally equates to about -1 or -1.25 in the goals market. You can still get like a -1, but you're likely to pay some vig on it, probably like a -140-ish or a -130-ish, I should say, on the line. Japan's going to get the win tonight. Tunisia will likely be a little bit better than they were, much like Paraguay, who the USA absolutely spanked on match day 1, beating them 4-1. And then they rebounded and played a much better game against Turkey. But I'm not sure if that's an indication of they played better or Turkey are just a bunch of turkeys, for lack of a better word. With that said, Japan's the right play here. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a parlay guy when it comes to these tournaments, but it is literally one in which you can connect the two together because I would assume that both Germany and Japan are going to come away with wins. Obviously, one is early today, one is at midnight tonight, which is I think that Tunisia one. You can take the 190s and turn it into a plus money. I think that's the best way to do it. Lane 190. If your bankroll allows for it, then do it. But I wouldn't normally be instructing people to lay -190. I just don't think it's a very good idea on them. And then even the -1, if they come away with a 1-goal victory, you basically watch 90 minutes plus soccer and got a push, which is kind of like being at the DMV, getting to the window and they're like, we're closed. Sorry, come back tomorrow.
Which is even worse, to tell you the truth there, Carm. All right, so we've got plenty today, plenty tomorrow. I know you are locked and loaded. I believe you have a 5% locked and loaded for us coming up here in the World Cup.
Yeah, one going tomorrow. Really like this game. I think it's a mismatch. I don't normally, Joe, when I advertise these things on the WagerTalk site, I don't put these like monikers and stuff like that on it, but I call this one a mismatch. I did it during the Premier League season when I thought a team would win by at least 2, maybe 3+ goals. And looking at the card tomorrow, there's obviously 5 games because of the one late tonight that's starting at midnight. So I'll be pulling an all-nighter and watching these games and then tomorrow as well too. That's up. We have I even have a private Discord channel for anyone who buys that World Cup package that you see there. They just contact customer service. They give them a invite code and they come in there and I give the guys any in-game plays that I like, I'll give them any halftime bets that I like, and it's generally a very good conversation with a bunch of clients, a couple of them who I got to meet while I was in Vegas, so which is always cool. And you can use that code WC20, which will knock 20 off that 149, and you're basically getting every single play, prop, side, total, and futures bet from now till the end of the World Cup.
Outstanding stuff. But the big question here, Carm, is that I know you must have been floored because you watched the Maple Leafs make a trade and apparently they're winning everything now because they got, Radish, I think. So you got a defenseman. So it's over, right? I mean, people forget about it. It's the Maple Leafs are they're gonna run the table now because they have one defenseman who is likely in an aberration here.
Joe, those diehard fans are just ridiculous. They're already downtown with like chalk drawing circles of where they're putting their chairs for the parade.
Yeah.
I hate to tell them, but they are 80 to 1 to win the cup. They might have a hard time even making the playoffs next year. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that the East is so tough and has gotten better.
Yep.
But maybe getting the one of the best coaches in hockey, and Jim Hiller, is going to put him over that total there. They're a team that Austin Matthews. I know it's we're in the middle of the World Cup, but Austin Matthews, with the MCL tear, and who knows if he comes back at full strength. It is they're living in la la land here. It really is. It is like being a fan of Curacao and going into match day 1 and thinking we can really beat Germany. No, you can't. It is what is it, 57 years, something like that?
The 87 something $1 million over 8. I mean, the guy's 30 years old. He had a decent second half with Tampa. Like, he's not going to be the cornerstone. Just amazing to me, Carm. Absolutely amazing to me. But there you got it, man. We'll see you, of course, during the week too. Best betting show ever. We'll have you on again. We'll talk World Cup all throughout. But right now, with a 9-1 run and a 5% play up and ready to go for tomorrow, I guess now would be a good time, Carm, to head over to your page and grab that, or any one of the packages, and partner up here, right? For how many weeks we got left? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
Oh, we have plenty of time. This goes into like mid-July, just because this tournament is obviously the new format. 48 teams, I believe it is, that are in this one. 32, an extra round of knockout stage games, and normally goes into 32 teams into the next, 16 teams into the next round. There's 32 this time around. So there is plenty of action still to go in this one, and plenty of plays. There's 104 games total in the World Cup this year, as opposed to 64 that there normally is. So a lot of plays, and picking up that package is a great deal, as I mentioned, because you can get some additional info and halftime bets that I can't put up on the site. But I can let you guys know, just because obviously the window of betting them is very small. So that comes into it as well too.
Well, there you go. And it's the way college football keeps adding more and more teams into the playoffs. It's going to be a lot like the World Cup. It'll be finished in July sometime there. Carmine, always a pleasure to see you, my man. Best of luck. We'll see you during the week. All throughout Wager Talk here. Carmine Bianco, go get that 5% play, guys. It is locked, loaded, ready to go for him. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Dan, do we have any lacrosse, any PLL going on today? Or did you say they just giving way to the World Cup? Is that what it is? They're not playing?
They're smart. They know that the World Cup is going on, so they actually have one game this weekend, Joe. They had 2 last night, but 1 game this weekend. So they do have it on FanDuel. They do have it on DraftKings tonight at 9:00. If you're looking for a bailout special, Joey Spallina player prop. I just sent it in. For clients here. I put them in over at Andy's page, wt.buzz/AL. So, Joe, let's do it for free. Over 2.5 points for Joey Spallina. He's from Long Island. He's going to be on Long Island in his debut. He didn't even get to practice because he came fresh off of playing at Syracuse, then went right into the Premier Lacrosse League. Didn't even get to practice, Joe. He had 7 points, and we're seeing 2.5. And I think it's simply because they had 2 weeks off in between last games. So if you want a little bailout special, Joey Spallina is the name. Over 2.5 points is the bet.
Where are you going to get a little on the spot PLL action? And they only have 1 game on the card here today, but At that time, you're right. It is the ultimate bailout special here.
9 p.m.
9
exactly.
p.m.
I would
Where do you
hop on
watch
with you,
these
but
games, by the way?
No, ESPN Plus. So they
Oh,
have
it does.
they have a
Okay.
deal. And
Yep.
actually tonight, Joe, they do this, Saturday Night Lacrosse. It's really the only SNL that's worth watching. There you
Okay.
go. But SNL tonight, 9:00, it's actually going to be on ESPN2. So you don't even have to go scroll through your streaming. Throw it on, a little sidecar action. I think we catch this one pretty early, to be honest with you. And I would have hopped on here with you, Joe, but I'm covered in paint. It's deck painting day here at the Newberg household. Fun stuff. Fun stuff.
I love it. That's good
Fun
stuff.
stuff.
Hopefully it doesn't rain, though, and then you have to repaint it all in about an hour there. But there you go. All right, Dan's giving you PLL. I've got a couple of plays, Major League Baseball, locked and loaded for you as well over on my page at WagerTalk.com. 6-1 run already this week. We're about 61% now over the last 45 days. So hop on over to WagerTalk.com, partner up there. Use one of those packages for any of us, really. The 3 days, buy 3, get 3 is a fantastic package. Partner up for the rest of Major League Baseball. That's available now through tomorrow, I believe, because you'll be able to get partner up with any of us through the rest of the Major League Baseball season. And understand, guys, this is the time of year that you pad the bankroll for football season. What you do over the next couple of months is huge for what's going to happen come August and September and beyond for football season. So no reason, even if you don't like baseball, there's absolutely no reason for you guys to partner up there and continue to pad that bankroll and get ready for what should be a pretty wild college and NFL season coming up. Can't believe we're a month away there. Not to mention the NBA draft is just around the corner. Boy, those markets are going to be crazy. But either way, we appreciate the time as always here on Wager Talk Last Call. We'll do it again, of course, next week. But don't forget to stop by all throughout the week. The best betting show ever. Of course, you got the baseball shows. You've got Wager Talk Today. You've got plenty of content there, guys. Make sure you check it all out on the Wager Talk YouTube page. But on behalf of Brian Leonard there, Carmine, Bianco, Dan Alexander, appreciate the time as always, guys. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy the games here this weekend, and we'll see you again soon on Wager Talk.